Am I the asshole for asking my niece to babysit my daughter for an emergency? I got a call telling me my wife had had an accident and is in the hospital. I have a 4-year-old daughter and I adopted my 12-year-old niece a few years ago after her parents died. I called every single one of our babysitters and none of them could come. I was in a hurry, so I asked my niece to look after my daughter until I came back. She refused and we argued for a while. She yelled at me and said, "I'm not your personal babysitter." I was so desperate and angry at the moment, so I yelled at her and told her, "Yes, you are. That's why I adopted you." I truly regret what I said, and I know it was wrong, and I'm an asshole for saying this, but I was worried about my wife, and I had no other option. After that, she agreed to do this, and I left. On my way back, I knew she would be upset, so I bought her several gifts and snacks to apologize. She took them, and we seemed fine, but later I got a call from my sister telling me I'm an asshole. I know what I said was very wrong, but I don't think I'm an asshole for expecting her to help in an emergency.
Right, but what you said you are.
Absolutely.
Because that, again, a theme on this show is there's so many people that say things that you can never take back and you can never make right again. It's just that it doesn't matter what you're going through. You can't cross that line. It doesn't matter. I know, I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to get that call and the freak out.
Yeah.
But there's still no situation where you can say that.
No.
Because it's also not true. Like,
yeah.
It's not
it's
true.
It's absolutely not true.
And so it just
absolutely
I don't know.
Not true.
No matter how flustered or crazy you can get just thinking, like going through some crazy stuff, it's just a line you can't cross. You got to have some sort of mind control a little bit to where when you're going through the most traumatic things, you still don't like cross a line like this, because now I would never forget that.
No.
Because
you're scarred.
You're going to point to that no matter what. It doesn't matter what you're going through.
Also, she's probably like, we don't know how her parents died, but she could be having a lot of like trauma associated with like, oh, I got to go, blah, blah, blah. I got to call. Is in the hospital. There's an accident. Like that could be so triggering for her. And then to throw that in her face when, yeah, you're stressed, you're hurt. But I think like you said, like the biggest thing here is that's not true. So to even like go above and beyond to cut at her so deep,
this doesn't make sense.
With a lie, all you have to say is like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah. I know you're not my babysitter, but clearly this is an emergency.
I just need your help.
I just need your help. Could you please watch little Sally for a couple hours?
Yeah.
Please." Talk to her. She's 12, not 2. She's not like incapable of understanding and empathizing. She's probably just scared.
There's like no debate on this one. It's just clearly such a wrongdoing.
I literally read it and I was like, a jaw dropped. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? And one of the top comments is, "I wanted to start with not the asshole, but I was so desperate and angry at the moment, so I yelled and told her that yes, you are, and that's why I adopted you." What the fuck is wrong with you? Not even in biggest fear and stress, you can say that to your child. Never, ever. Of course, you can ask her to be a babysitter in an emergency or else, which she is allowed to decline, but it's not her job to babysit your biological child just because she's older and you want this. You adopted her. She's your child too, not your slave. You're the asshole big time for screaming and what you said, and you fucked up the relationship with your niece, as you call her. Maybe don't call her your niece. It's your daughter. So your daughter is more important than your niece? Did you really think gifts will repair this? She won't ever forget and forgive this. Poor girl lost her parents, got adopted, but is still just the niece and is always second place. And obviously your free babysitter for the future. Which I don't necessarily agree with that comment, with the fact like, oh, she's your daughter, because we don't know what she wants. She might be exactly like our other OP that just wants familial figures in her life, parental figures, but doesn't want to be called your daughter. Doesn't want, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't
like
know the
her
dynamic.
Parents, exactly. So I don't necessarily agree with that like aspect of the comment, but very like for the most part, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your kiddo. at least it's your, I wanted to say like your ward, but that sounds like so formal. It's like she's your responsibility. You agreed to love and take care of her. So don't treat her like a toy or a servant.
Well, good luck with this one. I mean, you're not coming back from it.
Yeah. OP does respond though and goes, she is my niece. She was 9 when I adopted her. She will never see me as her dad. She is not second place. My wife even sometimes complains that I love her more than our own daughter. I was just very desperate at the moment.
I get it's a crazy, crazy situation, but you just can't. You can't do that. Like, there's no way in my mind, at least as I'm sitting here in a robe at a resort, but I just can't imagine what I'd have to go through to say shit I don't mean and just like just fire off.
Well, something to that
it's just
regard.
not in my DNA.
I mean, something to that extreme too is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's going to say shit they don't mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
but to
this
that level.
This is a whole different, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Which also kind of makes you think like, you just want to know more now. You kind of want to know if there's any other instances where this guy just pops off. Who knows? I don't know. But I just don't think I could ever cross that.
Yeah. Well, and OP says like she's never babysat before, but it was her nap time, so she would be asleep most of the time. But
none of that matters.
No, and like I understand, like OP goes here. I didn't know how bad my wife's situation is or how long I'll be gone. I couldn't take them with me like this. I thought she could babysit her for a while, and one of the babysitters told me she would be free in a few hours. So if I wasn't back by then the babysitter would be there with them. Which, hey, I had to babysit my little brother at like 9, and that's definitely too young. But like in the case of an emergency, yeah, that's not where he's at fault here. That's very understandable.
100%.
But it's the fact that what he said to kind of manipulate her, because that's what the intention was. Because why else do you say something so hurtful?
True. Yeah.
Manipulation, guilt trip, whatever it was. But not okay.
Yeah.